Welcome to Exiteo. My name is Jack, and I want to teach you to be a better worship piano player. Exiteo is where worship pianists come to pursue excellence. I want to help you transform your playing, so I've created a free resource that will help you take your playing to the next level. I've put together a worksheet and a video lesson titled 3 Chords to Upgrade Your Sound. Now, these are chords that I play every weekend on almost every song I play at the church, and I find that these add interest, taste, and beauty to these songs. If you have 15 minutes today, then you can sit down at your piano, watch the video lesson, and play through these chords and put these chords in your vocabulary. And my promise to you is that you can use these as soon as this weekend. Click the link in the description and I'll send you my completely free 3 Chords to Upgrade Your Sound worksheet and video lesson. These chords have served me very well, and I hope they serve you well also. Don't miss out on this. You'll be glad that you took the time to watch this lesson and put these chords in your own vocabulary. Now let's get back to the video. How do we map out a song? Can we find patterns in the music that we play? Today, we are talking about form. The form is the roadmap of a song. It's how we structure out a song into each section. When we're playing worship music, the first thing we will hear is a verse. The verse tells the story of the song. There are a lot of words. There might be little repetition in the words. After the verse, we will hear a chorus. The chorus features more repetition. It's the main idea of a song. We might hear one phrase being sung over and over again, and it's what the congregation is meant to sing along to. After the chorus, we will hear another verse with the same melody as the first verse and the same chords, but it furthers the story. It shows us there are more parts to this song. Now we will hear another chorus, which can be identical in lyrics and identical in melody to the first chorus, but the band feel might change. The second chorus is often bigger or more driving than the first chorus was. Now we've heard this stuff, and we've heard this stuff over and over again. We've heard a verse, a chorus, another verse, and another chorus. So our ears need something new to grab onto, or else we will get bored. And that's the purpose of the bridge. We hear new material, and we hear a change in the song. After our bridge, we will hear another chorus, identical in lyrics and melody to the second chorus. After our second chorus, there may be some more parts of the song. There can be a fourth chorus or a second bridge, but this is a very basic form that we will see in a worship song. Now there are some transition sections too. At the very top, we will hear an intro, which will be just the band. There will be no words in an intro. An intro can be loud or it can be soft, based on what the room needs and what the set list needs. In between a verse and a chorus, we may hear a pre-chorus, which maybe adds a little bit of tension. There's a change in the chord progression or a change in the melody before we get to the chorus. In between the chorus and the second verse, we may hear a turnaround, which is like a moment of breath before we start to sing the verse again. We may hear all of the band drop out except for one instrument, or we might just hear the band play as a whole for 2 or 4 measures. In between verse 2 and chorus 2 again, we may hear a second pre-chorus. In between the second chorus and the bridge, we may hear an interlude, which is like a moment of breath, a moment of contemplation before the bridge. It's a chance to reset our palates. It's a chance for our ears to have some space before we need to pay attention to the material in the bridge. The bridge can often go into the third chorus, and after the third chorus, we may hear some tags, which is one phrase being sung 2 or 3 more times to really drive a point home and to add tension. And after a tag, at the end of a song, we may hear an outro. An outro will be just the band driving it home and concluding the song. So if we look at the form, there are a couple patterns that I think of in my experience. I notice that the first verse is usually quiet, maybe at a mezzo piano volume. Pre-chorus stays around there. The chorus sounds bigger in volume, but open in feel. There might not be any drum groove. We might just be playing diamonds on each chord. It might just be cymbals, but we're a little bit louder, but there's not a lot happening rhythmically. Verse 2 can kind of stay at the same volume, and chorus 2 can be louder, but now it is driving. There's more rhythmic density coming from the drums. There's more rhythmic density coming from the piano. There's more rhythmic density and maybe even more notes coming from the guitars. And that's how the second chorus and the first chorus can be different. In the interlude, it can go either way. It can either keep the energy up going into the bridge, or it can drop down going into the bridge. But I noticed that a lot of the time, the bridge will start very quiet and very suspenseful, and then grow and grow into something very big and very driving. Now the third chorus is usually the loudest point in the song. It's fortissimo. The end of the bridge is the most intense part of the song because there's often a build that happens. But the third chorus serves as a sort of release, a tension and resolution. The tag will stay at the same volume as the third chorus a lot of the time, and the outro can go either way. The outro can be big or it can be small. So when you go to play at a service this weekend, or think of the last service you played at, and think of the songs that you played, are there patterns that you noticed? Did all the first verses sound the same? Was every third chorus the biggest part in the song? Was there only one bridge, or were there some songs that had a bridge appear later in the song? Keep this stuff in mind, and you can begin to predict how a song will sound without even listening to it. Like, I can predict that the verse 1 will be quiet. I can predict that the first chorus will play diamonds, and it'll have an open feel. I can predict that the bridge will start small and then grow. So pay attention to the form and use it to notice patterns and use it to communicate with your fellow musicians in your band. Thanks for watching. Happy practicing.